Richmond Palace was one of the most magnificent royal residences in England, though today barely a trace remains. It began as Sheen Palace, favoured by medieval kings, until a fire in 1497 reduced it to ruins. Henry VII rebuilt it as Richmond Palace, named after his former title, and it became a symbol of Tudor power. The palace was striking, built in rich red brick with soaring chimneys, tall arched windows and elegant courtyards. It sat right on the Thames, its gardens sweeping down to the river. From the water, it must have looked like something out of a painting. Henry VIII spent much of his youth there. He later honeymooned with Anne Boleyn at the palace, and it became a regular retreat for Elizabeth I. She loved Richmond, and it was there, in March 1603, that she died. She called Richmond her warm box, as it was so warm, comfortable, and cosy, really. Though it remained in royal hands for quite some time, the palace was gradually stripped of its treasures during the Civil War, as per usual. By the late 1600s, it had been dismantled almost entirely, its bricks sold off, and its grandeur forgotten. If you look at some of the older houses in Richmond, you can see that most of the palace was reused for other buildings, so at least that's still there. Today, there's only a few fragments of the original building, a gatehouse, a wardrobe building, all hidden in plain sight. But once Richmond Palace stood at the heart of Tudor life, royal, refined, and utterly unforgettable. For ghost sightings, supposedly Elizabeth I haunts the palace. She was seen even prior to her death by a lady-in-waiting. She appeared as a vision in a corridor, and the lady-in-waiting couldn't understand how the Queen was out of her bed, but it turns out the Queen had already died, so perhaps it was an apparition. Later on, around the gatehouse, Elizabeth is supposedly seen walking through and around it, so one wonders if her apartments were near there, or perhaps she has some sort of affinity to that part of the palace.